Hello everyone, welcome to the channel again. I'm here with another video. So this is we're going to troubleshoot inter-VLAN routing, and this is in physical mode. The previous video we did was only the logical view, so we didn't have all this stuff. So on this one we're gonna have to use the cables that are given right here, and then the laptop PC, and then we have another PC on the right, and then we have one switch. So as you can see the topology right here, you have one router, one switch, switch 1 and switch 2, and then you have PCA, PCB, right? And then this would be your kind of like a logical topology, right? And then we have the physical mode right here. Okay, these are all the you can pretend like this is an actual device. Okay, this is how you would set up when you are setting up your network. So we had the they have provided all the cables right here. Okay, so we're gonna troubleshoot, and we're gonna find out what's going on with this, and if there's any improper configuration we're gonna fix that. So let's get started with this lab. I'm gonna bring this one up, and I'm gonna actually bring this one up. So we have objectives: evaluate network operation. Part 2, we're gonna do gather information, create an action plan, and implement corrections. Okay, so that's the objectives of this packet tracer. Okay, background: all the network devices in this packet tracer physical mode activity have been pre-configured to include intentional errors that are keeping the inter-VLAN routing from working. Okay, so basically there's some errors that we need to fix to get the inter-VLAN routing working. Right now it's not working because there's some errors. So your task is to evaluate the network, identify and correct the configuration errors to restore full inter-VLAN connectivity. Okay, so you may find errors when the configuration which are not directly related to inter-VLAN routing. These errors impact the ability of the network devices to perform this function. Note, the design approach used in this activity is to assess your ability to configure and troubleshoot inter-VLAN routing only. Okay, so it's only inter-VLAN routing. Okay, nothing else. We're just doing inter-VLAN routing. Okay, this design may not reflect working best practices. Okay, and then all right, that's the background and scenario. Moving to the instructions. Part 1, evaluate network operation. Okay, requirements: we have no VLAN 7 traffic. So no VLAN 7 traffic is allowed on the trunks because there are no devices in VLAN 7. Okay, all right, we know. So there are no devices. Okay, so I guess if you look at this addressing table, so under VLAN table, as you can see that VLAN 7 is parking lot. Switch 1 has all this port assigned to that. Switch 2 has all this port assigned to that. Okay, so all trunks. So VLAN 8 is the native VLAN. Okay, so VLAN 8 gonna be the native VLAN. Okay, all trunks are static, end-to-end connectivity. Use the laptop computer and appropriate cable to console into the network devices for testing and configuration purposes. Okay, and login password on all network device is Cisco, and the enable password is class. You can click and drag the console connection from the console port of one device to another, but you will have to start a new terminal session. Okay, use the ping command to test the following criteria and record the results in the table below. Okay, all right, so you can ping so let's go ahead and start with A, where it says we're gonna drag. Okay, we're gonna drag. All right. Okay. So console cable we have. If you float over to this cables right here, if you go right here, it says type console. All right. So let's drag it. I'm gonna put it on here. And then I know, so this PC, this is PCA, all right? As you can see on here, you have to match, okay? So PCA goes to switch 1. And this, I guess, this is our switch 1. So we're going to inspect rear, put it on there, okay. So we have our console cable connected to switch 1 and then PCA. Okay, and then I'm gonna use another one, bring it here, go right there, and then we're gonna put that for the router. Okay, so we're gonna access the router using the laptop. So go back, inspect. Oh, I guess router has the console on the front. Okay, all right, and I'm also gonna grab another console cable because we need to access this switch number 2 later in the lab to uh, do some work here. So let's do that, and then inspect rear. We're gonna put it back on the console. Okay, all right, so I have all my console, um, so all the cable are connected. So I'm gonna all right, so let's all right, so I'm gonna go right here, terminal, press OK. There you go. And then it says Cisco enable is also it's a class. Okay. Now if I ping, let's ping switch number 1. Okay. Ping 10.3.0.11. All right, I think yeah, it's not success. Yeah, it's not successful. You can see the success rate 0%, which means nothing received. Okay, so it's not pinging. And you can also ping switch number 2, PCA, PCB. You're gonna get the same result. It's gonna be all the pings result gonna be unsuccessful. Okay, so you can just type unsuccessful for all this devices right here. Okay, so moving to part 2, gather information, create an action plan, and implement corrections. For each requirement that is not met, gather information by examining the running configuration and the routing tables to develop a hypothesis for what is causing the malfunction. Okay, all right, and then create an action plan that you think will fix the issue. Develop a list of all the commands that you intend to issue to fix the issue, and a list of all the commands you need to revert the configuration. Should your action plan fail, to correct the issue. Hint: if you need to reset a switch port to default configuration, use the default interface as an example for FO10, right? So if you want to reset switch port to default configuration, that's how you do it. And execute your plan at a time, each criteria. Okay, all right, so we know that we are only working to get the inter-VLAN routing working. So um, what I'm gonna do, all right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead to switch number 1. All right, my switch number 1, I'm gonna log into that switch number 1. All right, so Cisco enable class. Okay, and then I'm gonna run that default. Let's do that default interface F0/10. Oops, what happened there? Is there a default interface? Switch number 1 have to be on the config mode to do this. All right, so config term, and we can do this default interface F0/10. All right, okay, so that's successful. Now, so after this, what we do, so we're gonna work on execute your action plans one at a time for each criterion that fails and record the fixed actions. All right, so I'm gonna start at start with the router because that's our main guy. So let's log into the router and just to check everything's okay there. Yep, I'm already here. All right, so on the router, I know. So if you go, so router interface, these are the interface that are right on there. So okay, I'm gonna do this. So if I do VLAN in interface, I'm just gonna do interfaces, and I'm gonna show how many interfaces we have here. Okay, that we can use our okay. So you see this gigabit Ethernet 000 is administratively down and line protocol is down, which is disabled. So we cannot use this because the line protocol is been disabled. So we don't need to use that for this lab. So I'm gonna move to gigabit Ethernet 1. Port 1 is up, line is up. That's good. That's awesome. That's what I want to see. Okay, everything looks good. You have full duplex encapsulation. Okay, and then you have the other one, which is the this .3, which is your VLAN 3. Okay, whenever you see a .3, that's your logical port, logical connection. All right, that's your VLAN. So in this case, it's up, line is up, so that's good. This guy is up, and then VLAN ID is 3, so it has to match. Okay, your VLAN ID has to match with this guy right there. Okay, so that's good. And then we have VLAN 4 gigabit Ethernet, which is up. Both status are up, and then the VLAN ID matches. That's good. Now we have this VLAN 8 is up and line is up, ID is up. Okay, so we don't see that here, right? So we see this have already been assigned IP address, mask, default gateway, but this VLAN 8 hasn't been assigned to anything. Okay, so that one's down, which is this is up, administratively down. Okay, so in this case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this VLAN 8. Okay, I guess this was given to us, so we can use this for, you know what we're going to use that for? We're going to use that for, because it's a native. Yeah, so VLAN, okay, so VLAN 8 is the native VLAN. Okay, awesome. So that's our native VLAN. So what we're going to do is we're going to run, we're going to go into the interface, and then we're going to do encapsulation, okay, because that's need to be implemented on the router, okay, for the trunking. All right, so what we're gonna do is let's go ahead and config term and then interface gig 0/1.8. Okay. All right, so I'm inside that VLAN, and then I'm going to do encapsulation dot q 8 native. Okay. All right, so something's not right. I forgot to type number 1. There you go. There you go. Boom. 10%. All right, so we're right. We're on the right track here. All right, so now we have the encapsulation .1q for native. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna switch over to switch number 1. Okay, let's go over to switch number 1. Okay, this is our switch number 1, and then I'm gonna switch number 1. You can also do, let me see something here. So interface VLAN brief. So VLAN brief. PR brief. Okay. All right. So as you can see that now 8 is our native. Okay. And then 7 is our parking lot. 4 is our operational. 3 is our management. 1 is the default. Okay. Now we need the trunk mode as well. So what I can do, I can use I'm gonna okay, so all right, let's do this. For trunking, we're gonna switch port to trunk. So we can do config term. Let's go ahead, default interface. We're gonna do let's do 5/5. Okay. All right. And then we're gonna do switch port mode trunk. What happened there? Switch port. Okay, I'm not inside that. Okay. Now I have to be inside that interface. Do the /5. Now I'm gonna do switch port mode trunk. Okay, and then I'm gonna switch port now trunk native, which is our VLAN 8, right? Okay. Oh gee. Okay. Now, so I know we already have VLANs right here, which is 3, 4, 7, 8, 13. So we need to allow that as well. So let's go ahead and do switch port trunk allowed VLAN. So we have 3, we have 4, we have 8, 13. Okay. Oh my goodness, I didn't type 4 here. Okay. What's going on? Switch. Okay. And then now let's go over to PC1 VLAN. So I'm gonna go ahead, type interface f0/1, and then we're gonna do switch port. Now that's gonna be on interface 01. I'm using those because those are not those, we can use those interfaces, okay? Because all of the interfaces that are either been assigned to all those VLANs, so I'm using what's available on there. Okay, so go to back here. Like all these are assigned to parking lot, so 5, that's assigned to 10, so I changed that to 1. I'm gonna change and then 1, I can use 1. So 1, we can do switch port. That's on the switch port trunk. We're gonna allow VLAN 3 and 13. Okay, and then we're gonna do switch port trunk native VLAN 8 and then VLAN 13. We're gonna name that because you see VLAN, I don't see VLAN 13 here, so we're gonna add 13 there. Name maintenance. Okay, now exit. That's good. And now I can go over to, now I'm gonna go over to switch 2. Okay, terminal, press OK, Cisco class, and then config term interface 1, right? So for example, let's see, I'm gonna see something here. So VLAN brief, so VLAN brief. Oh, what's going on? Brief. So interface. Okay, it's not pulling up. Why? Okay, so VLAN brief. There you go. So as you can see that so from ports, these are all the way to 24 are assigned to this guy. So 9, 8. So we have like 13. So we have 1. I don't see 1, so we can use 1. Let's use 1 for trunk. So config term, I'm gonna use interface f0/1. We're gonna do switch that. We're gonna switch the port trunk allowed VLAN 3 and 13. Okay, because that's our management, and then maintenance. Exit. Okay, awesome. So as you can see right here, we're at 100%. Awesome job. So we worked on correcting the inter-VLAN routing. Okay, so whenever you do inter-VLAN routing, this is all you gotta do. That we use the port that's not been used for any other stuff to have the trunking. So now if you ping the device, it should ping. It shouldn't give you any issue with that, because everything should be working. So thank you again for watching. um, and if you find this video very helpful, please do support the channel, and I will be uploading some more videos. And again, thank you very much. You have a good day.